We're back.
I wish I could hear that, Sam. You look like you're having a good time over there.
Good times anytime you need a payment. What's
going
up,
on, bro?
What's up? Another day in the office.
Yes, another day in the office, man. Another day, another week.
Yes.
July is closing out.
Yeah, traffic is building up.
Oh, yeah, right? Well, yeah, I'm sure, because everything is opening up now.
Everybody.
But, yeah, welcome to Catch the Craze, as my man, Tam the Crazy Man Barra said. And this is July 24th.
Yes.
Today on the show.
Word.
Black Moss Comics.
Word.
Black Moss Comics.
Paul Richards.
I love Paul Richards, and I love their tagline. His tagline: "We are Black Moss Comics, and we'll grow on ya."
We'll grow on you like fungus.
We'll grow on ya like moss.
Yes,
like moss.
yes, like that
so, yeah,
toe jam.
Fun, man. What's going on with you, Sammy? What you got going on, man? Anything new? Anything new to tell us about?
Yes. So currently, although it might change because this is the future, although we're in the present, but when you see this, is So currently, yes. I like to say thank you because we added another 2 subscribers to our podcast on YouTube. Thank you so much.
Yes. I know you. You're not gonna wait till August.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You know me. You know me. You know what I do. You know, it's time travel and me, and not. You know, it's not good on my crow's feet. So, every time I go, I get a wrinkle in time. So.
Yeah, no, but that's great, dude. And when you guys see it, hey, listen, follow the show and find out what he's talking about. But it's definitely going to be a good time for our fellow indies out there. It's a way for us to show the love.
Yes.
Sam, that was a great idea. He's coming out with it, and I can't wait to see what it looks like.
You don't understand what I've been doing. What I've been doing to get the costume.
Oh, wow. Costume.
Yes.
See, I didn't know there was a costume.
Yo, you know me.
Costume. Wow. Wait, is the Crazy Man?
It's the Crazy Man in the uniform.
Oh, shoot.
It's like electricity. It's like, oh, look at him. Wow. Morpheus. It's like the Matrix.
Get your meds.
It's time for your medicine.
It's time for your medicine, George.
Get your meds. So, you know what I wish? I wish I could see it. I wish I could hear it.
I know. I'm not there yet.
I see you pop, and I'm like, it's on. It's on. Yes. Can you hear me when I speak over that or no?
Yes, I can. But right now, because you're moving a lot, you're coming in echoey.
I didn't even know. All right. Anyway. Oh, I get excited, dude. Yes. I get excited. I'm sorry. Yes. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, catch your meds. So the topic for today, Sammy, are you ready to discuss websites?
In plain sight. So, explain to me what you mean by is plain sights. Please. For me.
All right. So, a couple years ago, and this is going to sound so stupid and like dumb for me, but a couple years ago, I struggled. I was like, you know what? Do I really need a website? Do I need a website? Like, do I really need to go on there, spend the money, put a website up, design it? Like, I thought it was going to be a nightmare, right? And I realized, dude, social networks are not enough. They're not enough. You need more. So I looked up. I said 10 reasons why you need a site. Let's go over them. Why not? 10 reasons.
Numero 10.
You need a site. Numero 10. And you know what's funny? I said 10 and I ended up with 7. But I'm sure you have 3 more. So let's go. Captain America.
How's that going, buddy?
Good. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you for being on. So this is Paul Richards of Black Moss Comics. So we got a lot to talk about. George and I were just talking about the email that you sent us and how extensive your takeover plan is. It's kind of out there. It's crazy. It's like, wow.
Yeah, it's been many years in the works, and we're going for it, man.
Nice.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna try and do it right.
All right. So before we go into that, let's find out who you are. So where'd you grow up? How'd you get into comics?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska, actually. Yeah, deep west. and then moved down to the Seattle area. And I just always really had an interest in comics. You know, I'd go to my little local store where I was living on the Olympic Peninsula, get myself some comics. It was just always the thing. It was, you know, I'm a 90s kid. I'm 36, so I grew up back in the day, or X-Men, Wolverine, you know.
Yeah.
I'm Marvel diehard. I hate to say it. We can have that debate at some point in time. But yeah, I just grew up loving it. I grew up loving it. But it was always kind of my, like, I don't know, my background thing, my weird little hobby that I did in the dark. I could never really draw, but I always had these ideas and these stories that I wanted to tell. So everyone in the house would go to bed, and I just, like, pull out my pen and paper and chicken scratch these terrible drawings down somewhere, but they were my ideas.
Right.
You know, then I went to college. I got a job. I lived in Oregon for a number of years. I lived in Hong Kong for a little bit during college. Then I came back west, got married, had the kids, did the job, did the career, did that whole thing. And I just recently had a daughter. She's a year and a half, our second child.
Congrats.
And I've been staying at home with her. That, combined with the pandemic, combined with, you know, the sort of gig economy, people, you know, being willing to do stuff, the advent of social networking and how far we can come. You know, I've got artists all over the world that I'm working with. So all of that was just sort of this perfect storm. I kind of got over myself and said, you know what, let's do this. Let's make some books. Let's make some good content.
So your universe is one cohesive world spread across 7 different titles.
Correct.
So that's 7 titles that, you know, fans will be able to get and enjoy. What led to those 7 titles? Why 7? Is there like a reason for the number, or you kind of just like, I have 7 characters, I want to do 7 stories?
No, 7 was not the number. It was not a specific reasoning behind that. I have too many characters, if I'm going to be honest with you. And I needed to whittle that down to a couple arenas where we could tell legitimate stories. Cohesive stories that were unique, creative, and not trying to jam too much in. So for me, I took a look. Our world takes place 5 years after this global event that happens, which we'll get into. But I wanted to look at what the world would realistically look like during that time period. So, you know, Fox Force is dystopian Western Europe. What if Brexit happened and then some corporation tried to bring everything back together, yet there were superpowered people? Like, what would that look like? Right. Frozen Circle, the Arctic landscape. It's sort of the last developed place on the planet. If people were looking for resources, you know, who would be exploiting that area? Who would be defending it? And then we kind of go down the list. If we're looking at geography, Sahara Reign takes place, you know, on the African continent. Raven Realm is going to be more of a solo series focusing on a lot of Native American lore, sort of Pacific Northwest style histories, more spiritual adventure. Wardens of the Wall, which I'm really excited to write, but that's, you know, 2021. That's going to deal with, okay, it's almost 2040. There's thousands of people on this planet with superpowers. What's happening down at the Southern American-Mexican border? Like, how is that crisis going to look if there's people in a caravan who could just blast a hole through the dumb wall? You know, so it's just kind of taking aspects of reality in the world that we live in and extrapolating that out, see what would happen if there were really superpowered people living among us.
Yep.
Dude.
Intense, huh?
Yo, bro, I really, honestly, I'm like, holy cow. Tell you, man, this email he sent us, he's got so much stuff going on. And the fact that I love that he's basically got artists everywhere, dude.
Everywhere.
The list was incredible as far as where these artists are.
I don't know how he does it, because I was dealing with 2.
Yeah.
The cover artist and the interior artist, and that was time consuming.
Yeah.
And they were both from 2 different locations as well.
Right.
And he's done it with an entourage.
You so crazy, crazy. Who's the craziest? I'm so crazy. You so crazy, crazy. Who's the craziest? I'm so crazy.
Join us August 26th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we celebrate our 200th episode. Prizes, raffles, big news, and tons of guests. You don't want to miss it. Catch the Craze.